Today, Jesus teaches us about the need to give everything to God rather than just what we have left over. The story of today's gospel tells us about a widow who gives to God all the money that she has. This is little indeed in quantity, but is worth much more than what others have put in, because she has foregone her comforts to give to the temple rather than given from what she had left over. But this message that we have just heard, I think also applies to other areas, in fact to all areas of our relationship with God, not just with regards to donating money for the proclamation of the good news. We are also called to give the best to God in prayer. So we can ask ourselves, do we dedicate the best time of the day to prayer, or do we give to God whatever time we have left over during the day to speak to Him? The same principle can be applied to our talents as well. Do we use our talents to help God's church in proclaiming the good news, in proclaiming His kingdom? Or do we use them simply for our own livelihood? So the widow in today's gospel shows us how we should relate to God in all aspects of life, not just with regards to money. St. Paul, whom we heard from in today's first reading, shows us a great example of giving to God the best of himself. Paul writes that he has poured away his life as a libation and have fought the good fights to the end. Paul advises Timothy to do the same, to proclaim the message of God, whether welcomed or unwelcomed, and to be brave in doing so. But today, as we celebrate the Saturday memorial of the Blessed Virgin Mary, we are reminded that in her we have the greatest human example of the fullness of the dedication to God. Mary's yes to the angel at the Annunciation is ultimately a yes to give to God everything that she has, so that God could dwell in her womb. So today we ask for her intercession in this particular task, to help us to give to God the best of what we have, not just from what we have left over.